Well, here I am, Leon C., aka Morpheus, and you are now listening to the Academy of Wow, man. And here today, I have another great, special, very special audio to share with you. I take pride in this because I did a lot of thinking with this. And me and my companions, I do my best not to call them my girls, even though it's cool and they don't have any problems with it, but they're serious about our commitment. We're not interested in this thing called marriage, but this is marriage in our own way. I have a standard that I'm going to share with y'all, and it's not TMI, too much information. There's a reason why I don't call them my girls or girlfriend, and I call them my companions. See, we don't stand by the traditional marriage, especially in the state and the country, because it's diabolical. Okay, it's evil and it doesn't serve men. And I've explained to them that there are certain levels that my girls can reach, and I'm gonna share that with you today. There is a girlfriend. There is a let's see, what's the next stage after that? My girl, and then there's my companion. Now, when I call a girl a girlfriend, I'm very basic, I'm very straightforward with everything that I do, and I create the definitions and the ideas of my own in my own world, even though it is very acute with normal language, not to get too technical with it. And so when I call a girl my girlfriend, she's just a girlfriend. I don't take her serious. We're just dating. We're just kicking it around, just having fun. Okay? Now, when I call a girl my girl, that means we're in the she's my fiance sort of phase where I'm really taking her serious. She's no longer a girlfriend to me. This is my girl. This is somebody who I'm taking serious, that I can see a future in her. I can see my prospects and my attributes as well, that she can either enhance in whatever measures that she can apply to my life. Now, when I call a girl my companion, that is the greatest title that I can give any of my women, is companion. If I call them or any of my girls my companion, that means you're not going anywhere. You might as well say you got a ring on your finger. The commitment is solid. That means you are chosen. That means when I come home to you. That means if I invest in you. That means I will protect you. That means I live my life for you. That means we are together forever. All right, I'm just using the word forever for the joke, right? Ha ha. We're together. We're bonded. And this commitment is no different than marriage. The only difference is marriage is you got a marital contract, and you have other financial obligations and other type of, insurances and all the other nasty tape that you have to cut and go through when it comes to getting the state or the legal ties in between. We don't care about that. We're not interested in it because it's too diabolical. It's too sticky, it's too ugly, and damn near retarded for the average person today to even go down that path. So to be called companion it's solid and it's assured. And that has been my standard for a long time. Not too many men have met it. But let me go ahead and get to the subject. I don't want to talk about that forever. We have a favorite movie that I'm going to share with you. I've spoken about this before, but it makes sense now because of a situation that one of my associates have been through. And the movie is called She-Devil. A lot of you haven't watched that movie. You should. Very old movie with that actor. Her name is called, I think it was Rosie O'Donnell. Not Rosie O'Donnell. I can't even think of her name. I know it's the wrong name. But she played in the TV sitcom, TV show called Roseanne, right? With Roseanne and Dan. So she was the actor or the wife in she-devil. And we laughed at the movie, and it was very hilarious what was going on with her husband, I think, who was an accountant, and he was frolicking and flirting and being with all kind of women because he could. And I guess you can call her Roseanne for now. Did everything she could to ruin this man's life to get revenge, because she was his wife and he dipped out on her. But there is so much reality to this movie that I'm going to bring to you that it's real talk. It's real. It may have been a movie, but this really happens. This is really facts that a lot of women go through, and this is going to be a good lesson today that we are all going to share into. Now, let's take note, because I'm going to give you something at the end of the movie of what I found out. And I'm going to tell you this guy's story. So, to give you a little glimpse in the movie, specifically, her husband was, of course, an accountant. And he was always interested in, of course, the more younger, more shapely, more beautiful looking women when he had the opportunity, which is usually the man's nature anyway. Nothing wrong with that, but it's how you go about doing it which makes it wrong. Okay, just his nature is wanting a younger, more beautiful woman. Okay, but at the same time, there was a couple of hints in the movie about his wife, Roseanne. And the hint was she was big, she was out of shape, I think she had a mole on her face. She always ate pastries, so she really didn't upkeep herself. But she was a stay-home mom, okay? And she would take care of the kids, and she would do what normal wives do. And he came across his opportunity to be with another girl, and that's exactly what he did. He was with the other woman who was in his office and frolicking and flunking his ultimate tests at being committed to the marriage or relationship, or at least telling her how he really thought about her. Roseanne didn't know it at the time, but one day she figured out that that was exactly what he was doing behind her back. She had of course, intuition that this guy was, as some people say, unfaithful. He was laying with other women. She just kept pushing the thought aside, or the feeling aside. The reality came into fold when he started to deal with this woman who was a writer. I pretty much know what her name is. I think I gotta... No, I don't know what her name is. Forget it. I had it at the tip of my tongue. So I'm maybe going to try to dig into it and fight it. Who was a writer, and he met her at a banquet that he invited his wife to, which is Roseanne. And of course, she was kind of embarrassing. She was still looking flumpy and dumpy and eating whatever she could on the entree, which was, in his mind, well, you could say disgusting or trifling. And so typically he began to compare her to the writer or the woman that he was introduced to, and began to see the exact difference between the two. His nature said this slender, cuter, more healthier woman is his type, but his commitment, did you hear what I just said? His commitment was to his wife, who was more fumpy, dumpy, and very out of shape. But of course, nature will not be denied, and it's going to be a tantamount to future problems if we ignore it. And the reality of it is, men are still going to find a different avenue. Are they going to be more interested in another woman when women of their relationship or marriage let themselves go and get fumpy and dumpy? You know, like what some people say, Big Shirley. Anyhow, so I'm not going to tell you the whole story because it's a very long movie and a very long story that she had to endure this. He began to spend time with the book writer, and she caught wind of it, and it was extreme to the point where he continued to spend time with her at an extended basis, pretty much giving all his time and spending nights over there every now and then, where Roseanne had enough. Enough was enough. And she decided to attack back or seek revenge eventually. And of course, the entire duration of the movie was based on her just seeking revenge. Based on her trying to tear down his kingdoms and destroy his life to get him back for how he had, you could say, disappointed her or cheated on her. Now we're going to talk about the basis of the movie in real time. We're going to translate this movie to the red pill. We're going to bring this to the fold of the modern woman today, or you could say reality. There was one thing that I've realized out of the whole movie between the both of them, and that his wife did something that a lot of women do. Okay? That a lot of women do. I've noticed that his wife, which is ex-wife in the movie, she didn't go to the gym. Listen, she didn't go to yoga practices to thin down and make herself more nimble and cute. She didn't do what she needed to do to make herself applicable or acceptable to the majority of men. Although every now and then she'd go get a pedicure. Every now and then she'd go get her hair done. But you can get your hair done as much as you want to. And you can get a manicure as much as you want to. But it's not going to change the way that you look exteriorly. It's not going to make you 20 pounds lighter. Okay, you're going to be 20 pounds heavier with 5 more pounds of makeup and cosmetics to hide what you really look like. That's all it's going to do for you, ma'am. So she didn't make herself beautiful. But what she did was build up this organization and get herself in a financial position where she spent most, if not a lot of her time attacking him from the shadows, destroying him from the shadows, preventing his success and ruining the relationship that he now had with the book writer. She even went so far as to get another woman to actually finagle him and to deceive him and ultimately to set him up for a trap. That way he would be in somewhat of a financial trouble. Her whole idea, once again, like I said before, was to ultimately destroy him. She didn't care. But what chuckles me is not just alongside her taking care of herself, that is the wife, and slimming down, going to the gym or doing some Jenny Craig, going on some type of extreme diet. She didn't go to get another man, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't even try to get a husband again. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. I'm amazed that she spent all that time, all that money and ingenious thoughts of scheming, programming, setting up, and even getting another young girl to meet him in his office to destroy his empire. She even set him up in a sort of computer scam to accuse him of embezzling from his company. She did all this with her own time, energy, and potential. But she never used that sort of energy and performance in taking better care of herself and bettering her life, and again, not finding another man. She could have found her another man. She could have spent that ingenious mindset. Her intelligence could have been better spent on figuring out how to get another man, or how to get married again, or find a better father figure for the kids that were now somewhat back and forth between houses. She could have spent that money coming up with some type of weight loss program and making herself a millionaire. She could have took the girls that she spent time with and somewhat made their lives better, or fixed them up, to helping them to choose better men in their life. But no, this organization was to help women, but it wasn't necessarily to make them more applicable for a relationship. It was just to get them out of the mud, and out of the mud only, same as herself. But I also got to thinking that he was wrong, yes, for not being honest with his wife. He should have been. Yes. He was wrong for lying to her and deceiving her, going behind her back, as some people say, to commit these horrendous events. I get that. But at least he tried to move on, which is the idea. The idea was he wasn't trying to harm his wife. He was just doing what his nature told him to do. Or you understand? Or you can say, here you go, I got something for you. He was doing what she helped him do. What do you say? What do you mean by that, Morpheus? What are you talking about? Listen, when they were together, yes, I understand, and we all understand, it's difficult to be a stay-at-home mom with all the responsibilities. It is a job. We understand. You got to take care of the kids. You got to go pick up the mail, get the groceries, clean the house, vacuum the floor. You're pretty much maintaining a lot. It's maintenance, comfort, maintenance, and building a home. All that entails. But with her spare time, if you notice, she liked donuts in the movie. She would grab donuts or pastries whenever she was sad or upset or emotional. But with all the time that she had sitting down, and the free time and free space that she was allotted or given, she could have used that time to pop in a disc to do some yoga at home, do some gymnastics in the middle of the front room, do some jumping jacks, do some sit-ups and push-ups, so she can compete against these other girls who are trying to take her man. She could have went to a therapist to try to talk out her situation and let them give her some type of advice on what she can do to make herself more attractive to her husband. She didn't do any of that. She even got to the point where she figured out a way, ladies and gentlemen, to whose mother was that? I think it was either his mother. I think it was his mother. It could have been. I don't know if it's his mother or her mother. No, it was the mother of the writer. Okay, I see. It was the mother of the writer girlfriend who was with her husband. Okay, she went to the nursing home where her husband's new girlfriend's mother was, and found a way to get her out of the nursing home so she can cause continual havoc in that man's life. She did all this. She engineered this, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, that took smarts. It took being conniving. She had to be precise, and she had to pull some strings. She even, listen to this. Check this out. Check this out. She even found a way, her and her buddy, to break into the office in where he worked at in order to get some paperwork to pin him for embezzlement. She went that far. This is what I'm trying to take. Listen, I need y'all to check this out. She spent all this, was able to do all that. She had this compatibility of intelligence. She was this much of a very smart woman. Listen, she put so much effort into destroying this man with this level of smarts and IQ, where she couldn't spend that same amount of energy, smarts, IQ, and intelligence on bettering herself? No, 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 no. No, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your Shangri-La. Because in some of us is nothing but pure evil. It's just evil. Evil don't care about anything else. Just evil. That's just evil. Instead of doing good for yourself, revenge and evil, just wanting to get back just to get back, it won't make her life better. Just think about it. And I'm not going to tell you the end of the movie and all that, tell you all of it, but after the deed is done and she destroyed this man's life, is it going to do her? Did it even do her any good? I mean, what's the whole point besides revenge? When she could have spent those months, that money, that time on something else. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do somebody out there, is there, do I get a witness? Do I have a witness? Is somebody listening to me? When it's all said and done, who's going to profit and who's going to disbenefit from this? First of all, his kids are going to be even more hurt, and they was, because they had to. Let me stop. I'm going to let y'all see the end of the movie. His kids was the ones who suffered. She cared. Listen, she didn't care about her kids' future. As a matter of fact, during the whole movie, her children was invincible to her. All she cared about was attacking her ex-husband. That's all she cared about. That's past the point of revenge. It's just called evil then. Now you're being the assault. Now you're the, what do you call that? You're the assassin now. Now she became the evil person. Because the only thing that he did wrong was practically leave her or cheat on her behind her back. That's it. That's all he did. But she chose this guy knowing that he had this potential. And a lot of women know the potential of the men that they're with. They know this. They know there's a chance that he could do that when they spend time with him for about 1.5 years. But she dealt with it, and she continued to ignore the nights that he stayed too long in the office, or he made claims that he had to change his tire on the side of the road for 4 hours, knowing that that was the time that he was spending with another woman. Most women know that stuff. They just don't want to accept it. So it's wrong, but it's a minor problem compared to what she did to him. But it's because she was being pushed by evil. Evil was guiding her. So I'm going to tell you a story. If that story wasn't enough, I got something else for you. This is a real life story that I need to tell you about. Understand? Let's get down to the basics. Let's do the science first and the math. Realistically, women aren't as strong as men. They are not. The worst they could do is probably, and I don't condone this, but they have done it, is use their car or use a clicker in their pocket. And we all know what a clicker is, to take down a man. That's it. Okay? But there are some women who love to manipulate in order to get their way. And it's a majority of them. I didn't say all. Take your all ass self somewhere else. I said the majority of them. Manipulation is a woman's power. Manipulation and information. She will use that to destroy you or to attack you by means of either revenge or just plain evil. But evil has become rampant to the point where you're beginning to see that in your country, because there's no reason behind spending that much energy to destroy men, but they're doing it just to be doing it because it's fun to do. But let men do that. And that's another thing. Let me go back to that movie for a minute. And I just got you thinking about that. Think about this. Imagine a man. What is he called if his wife cheats on him or leaves him, right? And he does everything that he can to destroy her in reverse. If, let's say, they make a movie where a man is doing that, they call these movies nightmare movies. Now, these are movies that give women the creepers, the heebie-jeebies. These are movies that make women want to walk around with mace in their purse and in their panty lining, okay, and put a lock and key down there. Movies where men are behind the shadows and doing devious things to destroy his wife's future or his girlfriend's future. They're called stalkers. They're called criminals. They're called creeps. They're called jerks. They're called devils. They're called evil. They're called everything under the sun. They are called the Antichrist, if you want to call them that, or the devil. But yet they can easily make a movie where when a woman is doing that to a man, it's just a movie. It's okay. It's called comedy. Ha ha. It's funny. It's funny. It's okay. She's just getting revenge. She's just mad. Let a man try that. He's in prison the next day. They'll find him or put him underneath the prison. He will be in all sorts of ugly trouble if a man do it. But it's okay when a woman do it. It's fine, right? Such equality that we have in the world. So I thought that was a unique twist as well, to give y'all something to think about. Why this movie, it was entertaining at first. It could be kind of funny and fascinating. Like I said, me and my companions watched it several times. We like it, but we're able to break it down, red pill version. We see the deception that they're putting in your mind. That's why we call television and movies mind-washing machines, because that's exactly what they do. If we don't pay attention to break it down and filter it out, you'll sit there and think it's okay for a woman to do this to a man and get away with it. But then they're in reverse. They'll put movies in front of you where there are men who are doing that or do that in movies, and now they're creeps. Now they're considered Jason or Friday the 13th coming after you. That's how silly we are. And we are supposed to be evolved species by now. You're not evolved. We are de-evolved idiots because we don't realize the deception of programming that's been put in our society and before our face. So, getting back to the basis of science, let me hurry up and get this done here. So, women who cannot combat against man, they try other ways to combat against man. It's called deception and manipulation. And if she cannot get her way, she will use other strategies such as the government. She'll get the law enforcement. She would get her big brother. She'll get her father. She'll get her ex-boyfriend and or her boyfriend to do the dirty deeds for her because she can't lift up the handle to do it on her own. That's just reality. On and often you hear these cases and you see it all the time on the news. And oftentimes you notice, you're like, hey, where is this stuff coming from? I don't get it. How is this happening? They were such a great couple. They would never come at each other like that. I'll never see this guy to do something like that. How could he? Then she'd come up with these programs of making schemes and lies against this man to destroy his character online or the computer, on your dumb phone and social media, Instagram, Facebook. She'll do everything she can to destroy this man's character because they can't go outside and box. They can't. That's just reality. They can't go to a kickboxing ring. Forget about it. She'll be laid out. Okay? They can't challenge each other to CrossFit running or UFC wrestling. It's just not going to happen. And definitely, she can't challenge him to a game of basketball because he'll probably beat her by 20 points, if not 30. Now that in itself is reality. Give it a try, and I swear you lose. So in most, I didn't say all, in most women's mind, they're like, I'm going to get him back. I'll find a way to get him. I'm going to get him by who? Are y'all ready? By who? By who? Who? A pawn. What is a pawn on the chessboard? One of the most expendable pieces. They're the most usable pieces. They're the pieces where if you lose it, it's no big deal because you got plenty of them. Now, if you lose a rook, that's a different story. You lose a bishop, well, we got some problem. If you lose a knight, well, you just got through losing a very powerful piece. You understand? Those are valuable pieces, but the pawns are considered as white knight soldiers. What is a white knight soldier? Well, you know the history of the white knights. It's not specifically a person, and they're not white men. They're just called white knights, okay, as in title. And those soldiers come in the form of beta simps, or for the sake of YouTube, shrimps. They come in those forms. Those are men that worship women just to be worshiping them. They don't have to earn that man's value or trust. Those men just give it to her just because she's a woman. They'll come to her rescue if she cries, hollers, or screams bloody murder, or a wolf around the corner. He will be there, no matter if she's right or wrong. He's born to serve her. He's her physical male slave. That is a white knight beta shrimp. And they are in the masses, and they are expendable. And a lot of these white knight beta shrimp was sent to war. Now, I'm not talking, listen, I'm not talking about our war vets. I don't disrespect them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about those who go to war in life, in the world. They protect, or they provide a certain means of lifestyle for certain women who are only using them to covet and cover them, or to protect them, to keep them obscured from their negative behavior. It's almost like a vampire in a closet, or a witch who is full of witchcraft and evil, but you never see her, but you'll see her 5 men standing out in the front as her bodyguards. But you'll never see her, but she's the one pulling the strings in the backdrops. Okay, give you a good deep description here of what a white knight beta is. So in the story, let me take a swig here of my green tea. I know a man who was into this woman, and he would talk to her every now and then. And she had 2 sons. Listen. And this guy would go and see this woman on the weekend every now and then, or sometimes during the week when he has some spare time. They would donkey dunk, eat, enjoy each other, whatever else. But they didn't live together. He was just one of those, you could say, part-timers. They were just having fun, right? And so the day came where she always asked him for things, because he was a beta, as a matter of fact, and he was one of the shrimps, and I've got on him about it. And he would do things for her, sometimes buy her a meal. Yeah, he did that. You know, he was the trick every now and then. Take her to the store, give her a couple of dollars, just every little nick and knack every now and then. And so the day came where she asked for a little bit too much. Because I think a month, let's see, I think he said it was a month before the incident. She asked for about $100, in which I told him, don't give it to her. Don't. Absolutely not. You know, you're buying into the program. You're tricking yourself. You're the customer. And the only reason why you're there and she's allowing you to donkey dunk is because you're actually paying for it. You don't know that you are. You're paying for it in money and in time, and you giving her your services. When actually donkey dunking is an equal exchange. You're pleasuring each other, but she's going to want something more out of it. Those type of women you need to run away from. You need to tell her this is not that type of party, and if you want to sign up for that, get a OnlyFans. But he didn't listen. He gave her that money anyway. And so again, once that month dissipated and the next month came in, guess what? She asked for even more. The $100 she claimed was supposed to go to her light bill and a couple other knickknacks that she needed for her house. All right? Come to find out that month later, like I was talking about, she wanted $200 this time. And she claimed she did not pay the light bill, and she tried to show him the light bill that was overdue. And so, of course, this time now he's worried, and he finally pulls his balls down from his mangina, and he says, wait a minute. You didn't pay the light bill? I thought you paid the light bill with the money I gave you for. Where did you spend the money at? And of course the excuse is, well, I had to buy this and that, and I got hungry, and I got things I had to take care of, but you can handle it. Come on, just give me $200 this time. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how far this is gonna go. Come on, you know where it's gonna go from here. Don't play. You know full well. She'll skip a month, and then come the fourth month, she end up saying, I want $300, because she would realize the common person anyway, no matter how stupid they are, they know that their game is going to be up eventually. If she's asking for 100, then 200, then 300, he'll catch on. So she'll wait for a while and probably say, yeah, I want 400 now. That's how they operate. And take me out to eat, and buy my meals, and provide for me. But they weren't together, ladies and gentlemen. What did I say? They were just having fun. But this time, he finally said no. He said no. Hail to the no. I am not going to give you $200. You squandered. You gave away. You burnt. You destroyed the $100 that I gave you already, and you act like it's nothing. And now you want to ask me for not only another $100, but $200? And of course, in his mind, in anybody else's mind, you would immediately assume with your calculations that she's going to do the same thing. She's going to burn away that money and not buy the proper items that she needs to buy. And then she's going to ask you for more. It's called being irresponsible. And he played into the game anyway. He became the trick to begin with. He was only there because she was getting something out of him, and I'm pretty sure that she was just giving him duty sex, as in payment. Hey, you gave me some money, you gave me some food, you took me here, so you deserve this used up product that I'm actually selling you, that you have no idea that this is happening. And of course, idiot shrimps don't know that. They go for it because they let their nature be manipulated and used against them on the often. So here comes the Shangri-La, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the kicker right here. Here's the big kicker. After he said no and denied her and went his merry way, pretty much left the house, as he usually do, he decided to go back. Somebody chimed in. That's not me. No. Y'all don't listen. This story is not me. I have 3 companions. I don't need to do that. I got the cow at home, or the cows at home. No. It never was either. No, I'm talking. No, this is a person that I know of. This is a guy who I know personally. I told you before, you don't pay attention. I don't buy. I never paid for it. Maybe through time in the past, maybe spending time with the girl, but I never took her out to get groceries and gave her money and anything like that. So no, it wasn't me. This is a guy I know personally. My companions would never let me live that down. As a matter of fact, let me put something out there. There's a trait to a man who's good with women. There's a trait. There is a certain personality and a certain ability that men will build up over the years where he knows how to deal with women, where he don't have to pay like that. He's not going to be the trick. He's not going to be a shrimp over time. He may start off like that, or he may be deceived in his younger years as a young man, that is 17, 18, 19. But as he grows older and he experiences a lot with women, he gets smarter and a lot more better, where he don't have to pay, or he's not going to put himself in that position. So that wasn't me. I never did that. No, I was very cautious and aware. And I told you about my background and my family. We weren't raised like that. You know, if a woman told me to pay for it in any type of way, I thought I sinned against God and that my life was going to end and I was going to hell. So that was never a part of my position, nor did I ever accept that, because it just felt bad. It looked bad. And I wouldn't want to be with her. As a matter of fact, to me, it'd just be trash. I don't pay for anything like that. And this ain't prostitution over here. And it's always been a standard of mine not to help women to hurt themselves. It's a standard of mine. It's built in me. I'm not going to let women hurt themselves because I care about them. So if they're hurting themselves, I'm not going to condone them to do so, because there's a future coming that's going to lead to a worse consequence than that moment where she's laying down on her back, and I'm not going to be the one to help her. You understand? Forgive me, my listeners. I had to make a little correction there for those who don't hear good. Somebody chime in and was a bit curious. That lets me know you don't listen. And as a matter of fact, it also lets me know you're not listening to my other content. You only listen to the latest and what's going on right here. Take your lazy ass back to my other contents and my other informations that I've given to you already. Learn something there, then you come back over here. You can't skip first grade to the 12th grade. Stop being so damn lazy. Anyhow, where was I at? So when he left her house and denied her, he did his usual thing by going back to see her again. Yes, because he thought everything was okay. He's been doing this for quite some time. There were some yeses, probably a few no's. I'm pretty sure there was more yeses than no's. If she wanted something, he'll do it. Because he's one of those guys who thought he was obligated because he was getting the poom poom. And women know that. There are some women who use the poom poom as a bargaining tool. That's to wing the man down. And that's to make him think that he's obligated to whatever problems or issues she may have in her life. It's called security. Sometimes when a woman can't secure an actual relationship with a man, she'll secure multiple men for multiple facets in her life to give her security. The word is security. If he's not going to be the security, as in full-time boyfriend or husband, he's going to be part of the security circle that she has surrounding her. That's just real life. That's just real life. So he was used to it because he was caught in her web. So when he went back over there, I think he said that month later, thought he was going to give him some poom poom and sit down at the table and start off with a glass of water and then make it to the bedroom or wherever they are, the couch, kitchen, however they do it. Lord knows I don't want to know. Whew. Whew. This time, as he says, her son answered the door. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Uh-oh. Hold up. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, her son answered the door this time. And her son's taller than she is. And a little bit more brawny. It doesn't make him strong. He's just brawny. I'm going to give you another, I'm going to tell you another story about men and men's weight, how tall they are, and muscular build. So be looking out for that. I think it's very important for us to understand, because as a man of a physical build of myself and being in martial arts, I'm 6 foot something tall. I've been brawling for a long time. I've seen some things that will blow your mind. I've seen some things that goes against what the society tells you. So I'm going to share with you some secrets. I don't know what to name that audio yet, but just be looking out for it. It's coming, and you'll know it by the title. I'm going to make it something manly and put a twist on it. And so be looking out for that. But looks are very deceiving. I know that personally. I've seen some stuff that would surprise you. I've seen the most biggest dummies who's been feared get whooped up by, let me stop. I'm just telling you too much. Get whooped up by little bitty people. And there's for reasons. But anyhow, so her son was standing by the door trying to tower over her because she was just in the background somewhere shuffling, as he says. He didn't even get a chance to see her because her son stepped to the door. And you know what he said? He said, "My mother don't want to see you anymore. And she don't like the way that you've been treating her." And of course, he was like, "Who are you?" Because he never really met her son. She talked about them a lot, and he lived somewhere else. But she brought him over there to confront him. What did I just say the first time? Did y'all listen to me? Did you hear how I just described how women like to manipulate because they can't hit you on their own? They get somebody else to do it. Her son was used as the pawn piece in this one. Her son was the beta in this one. Her son was the white knight soldier and didn't know that he was doing it. The son did not even realize that he was being used. What if that man's mind wasn't in the right place? So she was willing to put her son in in a dangerous situation that can deplete his life in front of this strange man that he haven't even seen in his entire life since he was a nothing but an itch in his dad's sack. I told you, women on the majority, I didn't say all, don't care. They don't care. Just like the movie The She-Devil, don't care about nobody else but herself. As long as she's secure and protected, it don't matter if this soldier goes to war and lay his life down for her. And as a matter of fact, as soon as he does, she gonna say thank you and put up some flags. She'll just say, "Oh, well," you know what she'll say? "That's what he's supposed to do because he's a man." Evil, just pure evil. "Oh, he's a man, so he's supposed to sacrifice his life for you." What a joke. Well, this is your son. But in her mind, well, he's still a man. He's still supposed to sacrifice himself for me. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put him in front of the door and let him confront this grown man who probably can smash him to pieces. But I don't care as long as I'm here protected. Pure evil. Pure she-devil mentality. Pure she, and then want to cry, let me stop. Stop. Be the first one to march down the street talking about, "Oh my God, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. Oh my God, my child was just eliminated by this strange man. I don't know what happened. This strange man, officer, came to my door and my son was trying to protect me and he got popped." Oh, but you know that man on the other side of the door and you set your son up like that for failure. And now you want to cry about it. And then want to pretend that she had nothing to do with it and she was innocent Dorothy. She was the innocent Dorothy. But she wasn't. She was the devil in disguise. Anyhow, so what ended up happening was he had to introduce himself to the son. And of course, like I said, the son was like, "Okay, yeah, I heard about you. You're Mr. So-and-so. And she said you was going to be here. But I'm here to tell you, you can't see her no more. You can't see my mom anymore." Now, this boy was like 18, 19 years old, right? He wasn't in his 20s. And he barely had any peach fuzz on his face. And his mother was in her late 30s, 40. Yeah, she had her child young. And especially the man that was coming to see her. But yet, again, she didn't care. You know, this young, inexperienced boy standing in front of the door against a grown man who can probably, you know, right, got experience in life and been in multiple brawls and fighting. But do she care? No. But the hurt part about it is the main part of the story. This grown man felt a certain way. He felt slighted and he felt ultimately disrespected because she didn't want to talk to him, but because she was such a coward and she didn't want to be accountable for her actions, she'd rather for him to talk to this child, her own son, and put her own son in between the both of them. So there was no conclusion to it. There was no sort of end to it. So he was completely upset because he was right for not giving her the $200. He was right to tell her no, that she was irresponsible. And not only that, he began to realize, of course, as I've told him before, that he was being used for his financial providence. And he had to see it for himself. He had to see it the hard way. And so he let that one slide. He let it slide. Okay? Worst came to worst when a couple of weeks went past and he let it go. He said, fine. You want to be like that? There's plenty of women. I'm not wasting my time with you. I got options. I'm just going to go somewhere else. You have fun with you and your son. See if I care. So he says that this time she comes to see him. Because yes, sometimes she went to see him as well. They were messing around like that. And again, it was when he was at home. And again, it was when he wanted her to be there. And when they wanted to do something. They grown adults. They know what time it is. When she knocks on the door, just drop it like it's hot. Call it a day. Be done with it, right? But this is where things get a little touchy, ladies and gentlemen. She drives over there to confront him. But not only did she confront him in a very disrespectful way, which I'm going to share with you in a moment, she tries to ask him if they could go back to being friends. When they say friends, that means messing around again, and she wants his time and money, right? His meat, money, energy, attention, time. And of course, he's already turned upside down by this time. He says, no, I'm not interested. Not interested. Right? And so he looks out the window. He was actually on his porch. So he looks over his shoulder and he realized the son was in the car with him, the same son. Because the other son was smaller than him. So she had to pick the bigger son. And as he described, the son was sitting on the car, like sitting where the driver door is, leaning against it with his arms folded. You could say leaning, not sitting on the car, and watching the whole transaction. The whole transaction. And because he denied her, and she had the audacity or the nerve, she called it off by, first of all, sicking her pet bull on him, which is her son. I'm not calling him a dog. I'm just saying almost like sicking your dog on someone. And she didn't want to deal with it as an adult. And all of a sudden she thought she can go backwards and go to him and try it again for where she failed to start taking accountability and apologizing. So my guy said, no, I'm not going to do it. You completely disrespected me and you went above and beyond. We should have handled it like adults. We should have handled this like adults, and we should have spoken about this at least over coffee or over tea. And you could have told me that you just didn't want to deal with me anymore. You didn't have to sick your son on me as if I'm a teenager all over again. I'm not going to sit here and fight a little boy for your sake. And now you put him in between the both of us. So instead of her letting it go, ladies and gentlemen, instead of her realizing and taking accountability where she was wrong, the she-devil rose in her. Because she got a white knight soldier at the car right now. She got somebody who can back her up. Now, she can't fight him on her own. She got her son. That's why, listen, oh, man, somebody catch this, please. Oh, man. Holy universe, listen carefully. She knew what she was up to. That's why she brought her son with her. She brought her white knight soldier with her because she was planning on acting out. She was planning on getting disorderly. Are y'all feel it? Is somebody on my bandwidth? Do you catch my wave here? Do you understand what I'm saying? She knew she was up to evil. She knew it. That's why she brought him there. And not only that, instead of her walking away like a woman and saying, well, okay, you know, I get it. I guess I messed up. Damn. I guess I just have to find me another man who's going to give me what I want, right? She started acting out. She stands there on his property, on his steps now, because he was getting ready to walk her back to the car, right? While her son was sitting on the driver's side door with his arm crossed like a bodyguard, right? And he was doing the right thing just to walk her to the car and say, hey, you know, we had fun times and I enjoyed you, but, you know, this relationship has to end on good terms, give you a handshake. It was good, but hey, got to move on. So she was stopped right there in the middle of the stairs, flailing her arms. Well, who do you think you talking to about? You know, are you too good for me now? Who are you sleeping with? Who are you messing with now? Now she's flipping off because in her mind she's thinking he was with somebody else, or basically that he did find somebody else, and he had every obligation and right to do so. He was a free man. She denied him. She acted stupid, and I just told you what he was thinking at the time. There's too many options out here. There's plenty of other women. If she want to act like that, fine. There's some other woman who's not going to expect money in return for an equal exchange. This is going to be pleasure the same it is pleasure for him. We both get this, woman. Right? Simple. So she started flailing her arms, thinking that he's already with somebody already, even though he does have options. He has every means to do so, but she don't quite care nor comprehend. Let me say it again. She don't quite care, nor does she comprehend the logistics behind all this, because she's just thinking in her emotions as usual. As usual. So she started calling him all kinds of jerks and FUs, and I didn't want to spend time with you anyway, with your little, right? Yelling in his face. Flailing her arms. F you, you dumb bastard. Right? As she's walking away. I wish I never met you. I hope the next bee that you end up with give you some type of disease. Give you some type of herpes and all kind of pow, pow. Boom, pow. And he doesn't say anything and he doesn't move forward. He's just standing there and lets her just go off the hinge. And as he described the story, she just walks slowly to the car. And her son walks slowly towards her while looking at him at the same time, like waiting for him to jump, waiting for some type of altercation, waiting for him to put his hands on his mother. In which he never did anyway, nor did he have a plan to do so. Actually, she came up there to assault him, ladies and gentlemen. That was her way of doing it. That was her way of expressing. See, a lot of times women, when they express themselves like that emotionally, that's tyranny. It's terrorism. It's mental destruction. It causes stress in a man. It causes stress, frustration, and disappointment. Usually a woman, when she wants to attack a man, that's her way of doing it. Embarrassing him in front of everybody and backing herself up with the police or with the government or with her husband or with a boyfriend, or in this case with her son. That's her way of doing it. So after she verbally abused this man, and there is a such thing as verbal abuse. There is. You can verbally abuse children. You can verbally abuse the elder. You can verbally abuse anybody and make them feel bad about themselves if they're privy or susceptible. I can't even say the word I was going to say. Susceptible to that type of manipulation. So her whole idea was to assault him verbally and then assault him physically to get her way, because she wasn't going to get her way. No different than another twisted form of she-devil. This is real life, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and end that story there because it can keep going on, because we're already an hour in. I don't like to go longer than that. But this isn't just his case. This goes around the country. This is usual, ladies. This is usual. This is the modern, average, common girl today. It is. And a lot of them claim they're not like this. Get to know them and see what happened. They're going to make all kinds of excuses. Well, this is how I am. I'm a Pisces. I'm a Gemini. That's why I act like this. I'm on my time in the month. That's why I'm acting like this. I'm mad because I lost my mother last month, so I'm still mad at the world. Or my daddy used to talk like that, so every time somebody talks to me that way, I have whiplash. I have flashback. Or I've been hurt in my past, so because I've been hurt, I'm going to assault you. So just accept me assaulting you because I've been hurt in the past. That's my excuse. Let me hurt you because I've been hurt. So listen, instead of bettering myself, instead of getting therapy, instead of going to talk to the pastor, instead of going to talk to the doctor, instead of finding a father to be a part of the home and life, instead of being a part of a unit, instead of going to pray, instead of meditating, instead of jogging, instead of going to the gym, instead of eating healthy, instead of meditating, going to the park, instead of stop smoking drugs and dealing with pippy ploppy and flippy pills, instead of thinking straight, instead of going back to the library, instead of reading, instead of focusing on life, instead of going to North Carolina, instead of taking a nice swim or a nice dive, instead of making sure that I cross my T's and dot my I's, I'm going to spend all this time, IQ, and intelligence on destroying you and attacking you in the most negative way, which is not going to be beneficial for me except to my dumb emotions. This is the bad negative and the bad ignorant way of handling your adulthood. But it happens, ladies and gentlemen, on the often. You say, why am I bringing this story to you? It's mostly for men. See, a lot of you have chaos in your life that's just like this, and it may be minor. You might even be that guy who's making exchanges like this with a girl and you're thinking that you're getting the poom poom for free, but you're not. You're a buyer, but yet you call yourself a man. And you know what? I got something else. This is really going to hurt y'all. This is really going to hurt. Here's my Shangri-La. Are you ready? Oh, y'all gonna hate Morpheus now. But y'all not gonna like me for this, but I'm gonna tell it. When you are interested in marriage, you, sir, you are the ultimate trick. And you brought the cow and you paid for it. So you the ultimate beta. The ultimate beta. And not only are you trapped down financially, you trapped down in a monogamous, one-night relationship where everything is against you. The government, the divorce court, the system, the the kick men down and raise women up program that you got, the gynocentric energy being pushed in your direction. And the fact is, you as a man don't mean shh to the society. You don't. Everything is in her powers and in her will. Should you flip off and you act crazy, you got more than just the sun to deal with you. You got the whole entire westernized civilization and America. You paid for it, but you paid for it in full. And not only did you pay for it in full, somebody didn't pay the price that you paid, but you was the dummy that came along and brought this car that was test driven, driven around, high mileage on it, and you paid full price for it. So you deserve what comes to you at the end of the rainbow. That's why the divorce court is not kind to people like you. Because it's not like that. It's marriage isn't worth it anymore. It's not the way it used to be. I told you before, it's not 1940, 50, 60, 70, nor 80. This is the 2020s, and it's a different dimension altogether. It is going to crush you, and it's been doing it before. And it's going to be even worse because the adhesive in the society in America is not built for relationships. It's not. It's not made for marriage anymore. It's made for single people. It's made to just have your fun. It's not made to build families and bring families together. As a matter of fact, when you got more than 4 kids, they'll think something's wrong with you. Back in 1940 and 50, having 10 to 11 kids or 12 was normal. Having 12 kids was considered as a normal family or just a healthy family. Now having 12 kids, somebody look at you like you're wrong, that something's wrong with you, that you came from a different planet, or you just couldn't control yourself. It's a different time now. It's a different generation now. And in those days as well, the donkey dunk experience that women had was less than the women that you get with today. Back then, you can probably count maybe 40, 30, 50 or less, or maybe 20 if she did well for herself through high school and college. But now you got to times that by 50 because of social media, Instagram, OnlyFans, POF, sugar babies, hit and mingles. And the list is continual and extending every single day. But yet you still think marriage is the way to go because they tell you in the church that's the traditional thing to do. Nobody cares about your damn tradition. If tradition meant something, it wouldn't have fallen away in the first place. To the victor goes the spoil. When you are boxing, I know this quite well. When you're in the ring and you're competing against the component, the one who's the strongest, the fastest, and have more stamina survives. It's the law of nature. That's the same as the law of nature when it comes to the sperm flowing down the canal to reach the egg. You got all these thousands of sperm cells trying to reach the egg to impregnate her so she can have another offspring that may look like you and have the chromosome cells as well. But the one that's the strongest, the one that swims the fastest, the one that's more potential to survive is going to meet the egg eventually in their fight on their way there. Duh, me. Do you not realize that? That's the same as the society and the way it operates now. It's the same thing. It's not like it used to be. It's damn near the survival of the fittest and the strongest and the smartest. So everything is built on destroying the family and destroying the unit. And so if you're meant to be with a woman, if you're meant to succeed with a woman, then it's going to have to be a higher priority to filter the girl out and have lesser potential of those bodies in which they tack on today, which are in the hundreds. So you end up being the one filtered out when you don't take that time or opportunity to think. instead of with your veneer sausage. See, women have lots of temptation. And with all the social media, with all the advantages of not being married and not being in a committed relationship and just doing what she want to do, which is fine, but most times it's to destroy the family and make no type of commitment to the future. But her way of fighting is staying virtuous. Her way of fighting is getting rid of the temptation of being with multiple men, getting trains ran on her, waking up in the back of vans and cars, sleeping on the bleachers in college and waking up and got all this white stuff on her face and mouth. Her and with the Jägermeister under her head or something like that she was drinking all night. Her way of fighting the war of the sexes or of the generation is maintaining virtuous and keeping her numbers low and keeping her body concealed for the right man. That's her way of fighting. So if you're fighting to be a high value male, or if you're fighting to be like Elon Musk and a Bill Gates, I'm not saying do what they do. I just mean make that money and be as prestigious and popular. If you're trying to be the best that you could be, if you're trying to be formidable in your society, you're fighting to do that. You're spending time, you're spending money, you're spending suffering, you're spending moments where you could be at pleasure, but you decide to put your face in a book or a computer all night long to get yourself together. That's your way of doing it as a man. So you need a woman who's equally fighting to keep what's valuable to you. So for most women, security, money, having confidence, being a protector, and being having a certain set of masculinity is what they look forward to, and that she can depend on you. You work hard on doing that. So in return, all you waiting for her to do is be virtuous, kind, productive at home, and keep everything at home, and give you peace, quiet, and freedom. That's what you're looking for. And so therefore she have to fight to maintain that, not for you, but for herself. Whereas when you meet her, it's already there. It's who she is. Somebody said this about the Bible, which I don't stand by, but it makes sense. So I'm going to use it here. It says, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. But what the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? That means she's already made to be wife, because she practiced what it means to be a wife. She has an idea what it means to be a wife. She knows what it means to be a wife. She studied what it means to be a wife. She has wife qualities. She's virtuous like that. She has the potential like that. She's young enough like that. She's fertile like that. She's cute like that. She's all about that like that. So that way you can bend her over and get it in like that. You can't automatically be the champion in boxing if you never boxed before in your life. Are you stupid? You can't say all of a sudden, well, I'm gonna be the boxing champion as soon as the match is available to me. Are you stupid? Yes, you are. You got to be in the gym. You got to go through practice after practice. You got to get your head punched, and you got to punch back. You got to know the strategy. You got to know how to bob and weave, hit the ropes, bounce forward, dodge, blink, move, tilt left, strife, dance with it, and parry. Y'all know all that stuff. As you can tell, but I know how to. You got to be able to come back. You got to know these things. It should be automatically in you. So therefore, when the championship challenge or match comes to you, or it's available, and you are in a position to be there, now you have the chance to win. You men are always picking women who say, "I'm going to be a wife whenever I find a man to marry me." What? Are you stupid? I mean, is something wrong with you? What kind of school are you graduating from? Ain't never practiced, don't know what it means to be a wife. You just want the marriage experience. You don't want to be a wife, just want the marriage experience. Don't know what it means to cook and clean and provide and take care of the home. That's just a part of maintaining the home. Nobody's saying that's the woman's job. They're just saying, well, you just can maintain it because it's easier for you. While the man's out there suffering, he don't want you to suffer. Just go ahead and take care of the home. It's easier. It's a lot easier to take out the trash and drag that heavy bag out there to the corner of the sidewalk so they can come pick up the trash on Thursday, which is trash day. It's a lot easier than for you to go out there and actually be the dump truck, which actually has to drive and go down there at 3 o'clock in the morning to pick up everybody's trash in the goddamn neighborhood. It's a whole lot easier to make a plate of food or a table for your 3 kids and your lovely husband when he gets home. It's a whole lot easier to do that than for you to go ahead and make a whole banquet all day long for 8 hours to 9 to 5 for a group of strange people that you never go home with and you probably never see again in your entire life. I don't understand what we think nowadays. What are you getting at? What are y'all getting at? Got too many she-devils in your system, and that's going to destroy you. As a matter of fact, it's not going to be profitable for the future, because guess what? When you say, "Oh, I'm going to be a wife," whenever somebody decides to marry me, but in the time being, you're running up your mileage. You're being driven around town and compiling your mileage, destroying your powertrain, ripping and contorting and wrinkling up the fresh leather that's in your self, in your body, and in your soul. But yet you want to find a man who's going to buy you at the normal brand new price range, as if you just came off of the assembly line. Du, du, du. Du, du, du. Du, du, du. Du, du, du. Game over. Strike! You're out of here. Get out. That level of ignorance isn't human. I'm going to tell you that right now. Listen carefully. That level of ignorance, that's not human. That's not. It's not human. It's not human for me to say, I'm going to be the martial arts champion, and I never flipped, I never kicked, I never tried to stretch my leg. I was never there. I never even studied, but I'm going to say, I'm going to be the martial arts champion as soon as they sign me up. I'm going to go directly to the championship. I'm going to get my ass beat the moment I put my foot on that mat. You're going to find Morpheus turning into pasta in front of your very eyes, because that's not human to be that stupid. You got to practice your value before somebody can see that value in you. You got to build up the person that you are before you are accepted to be the person that you are. You got to find that brass, that gold, that silver, and that platinum that you are. It should already be there. So therefore, when someone sees you, they see that within yourself. So this is why they say, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing, because he found a wife. A wife is a good thing. They didn't say get married under the law. They didn't say get married under oath, under a tree, jump over the bridge. No, he said when a man finds a wife. What is a wife? A wife is a companion. Holy it's destroyed. Drop the mic. Drop the mic. So she's wife material. So she's going to be exactly what she is. But you want to know the reality of it? I'm going to tell you again. And I'm going to repeat myself again. And I'm going to repeat myself again. The society that you live in, especially in the Western world, the modern world that you live in today, don't care about your future, and they definitely don't care about your relationship. They get paid when you're not married. They get paid when you're not together. They get paid when you have a separate home. They get paid when you sign up for child support. They get paid when you fight each other. They get paid when you go to domestic violence court. They get paid when you act like a fool. They get paid when your kids don't have a father nor a mother. They get paid when you jumping from one bed to the next, especially the doctors and the OBGYNs. They get paid when you're damn ignorant. So putting you together, making sure you got a future, and telling you that you need to be this before somebody can accept you as you are is going against the grain. That is all I got to say today. And I am going to let you think about what I've said. This is Real Talk. And there'll be more to come. And I'll do my just diligence to continue to provide you with empowerment and eye-opening facts. You know who this is. And you know what to do down at the bottom of the description box. Like it. Even if you don't like it because I said so. And share it. And subscribe. And get other subscribers. And spread the news.